Rudy Giuliani's legal troubles have taken another dramatic turn in the $150 million enforcement action against him brought by Freeman and Shaye. Giuliani's former lawyers, Caruso and Dave Lowski, abruptly left his case, citing irreconcilable differences. When they filed to withdraw, they submitted a letter to the judge explaining their reasons, which was initially redacted from the public record. However, recent developments have brought the contents of that letter into the open, shedding light on Giuliani's conduct and the reasons behind their departure. The letter reveals that Giuliani's attorneys quit because he refused to turn over his mobile devices and financial records, making it impossible for them to meet court deadlines. Giuliani, in turn, publicly blamed his lawyers for malpractice, but the judge saw through his claims and has now made the contents of the letter public. This revelation contradicts Giuliani's attempts to deflect blame and exposes his repeated pattern of failing to comply with court orders. This is not the first time Giuliani has obstructed the legal process. In the original defamation case that led to the $150 million judgment in Washington, D.C., Giuliani repeatedly refused to cooperate during discovery, earning multiple contempt rulings from Judge Beryl Howell. Similarly, in bankruptcy court, Giuliani's filings were dismissed as being made in bad faith, further highlighting his pattern of noncompliance. Freeman and Shaye, who have been attempting to collect the judgment for over a year, have made some progress in seizing Giuliani's assets. They have taken possession of Giuliani's $4 million New York apartment, which is now being sold, as well as a 1980s Mercedes once owned by actress Lauren Bacall, along with a dozen luxury watches. However, two significant assets remain in dispute: a set of New York Yankees World Series rings and a Mar-a-Lago-adjacent condo in Florida worth an estimated $4 to $5 million. Giuliani's son has claimed that the Yankees rings were gifted to him in 2018, a claim that is being scrutinized due to evidence that Giuliani continued wearing the rings after that date. The plaintiffs are asking the court to rule against Giuliani's claims about the rings and the Florida property, arguing that his history of dishonesty undermines his credibility. They are also pushing for sanctions against Giuliani for failing to turn over his records and cooperate with discovery. The next key hearing is scheduled for January 3rd, where Giuliani faces a contempt charge for his continued refusal to comply with court orders. His defense strategy is unclear, as his legal team has been in flux. Reports suggest that his new attorney, Joe Camerata, may take over, although confusion remains as there are two lawyers by that name in New York, one of whom has publicly distanced himself from the case. The January 3rd hearing will determine whether Giuliani faces further penalties for his defiance. Given his track record, sanctions appear likely. However, the challenge for the judge will be deciding how to enforce them, given Giuliani's claims of financial insolvency. Plaintiffs Freeman and Moss are asking the court to draw negative inferences against Giuliani regarding the timing of his residency declaration for the Florida condo, which could strip him of the homestead protection he's using to shield the property from creditors. The hearing on January 16th will focus on the disputed assets, including the Mar-a-Lago condo and the Yankees rings. Plaintiffs aim to prove that Giuliani's claims about these assets are false and push for a default judgment in their favor. If successful, this would bring them closer to recovering the funds owed under the defamation judgment. Giuliani's behavior throughout these proceedings mirrors the actions that led to his disbarment in New York. He has repeatedly ignored court orders, failed to produce evidence, and displayed a cavalier attitude toward the legal system. His attempts to shift blame to his former attorneys have backfired, with the unsealed letter exposing his non-cooperation as the true source of delays. The stakes are high for Giuliani as he heads into these hearings. With mounting legal battles, dwindling resources, and a tarnished reputation, his options are narrowing. The plaintiff's legal team, working pro bono, continues to pursue justice, ensuring that Giuliani is held accountable for his defamatory actions against Freeman and Moss. The broader implications of this case extend beyond Giuliani. It underscores the importance of accountability and the rule of law, especially for public figures who misuse their platforms to spread falsehoods. Freeman and Moss's fight for justice highlights the resilience of democracy and the critical role of the legal system in defending it. As Giuliani faces his day in court, observers will be watching closely to see how these hearings unfold. The outcomes could set significant precedents for enforcing judgments against high-profile individuals who attempt to evade accountability. For now, Giuliani's legal woes continue to mount, and the January hearings could mark a turning point in this long-running saga.